I knew like after school I was just gonna run up on her. I didn't know like what was gonna happen, but she needed to know like pressure was about to be applied, like heavy pressure.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Shouldn't cry for you. Do things when you want me to. Like controller. Yeah, like control.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Lisi, and I'm back with another video. This video is a special video because this is my first story time. And as y'all can see the title of the video, like it's about to get real. It's about to get real crazy. Y'all see the title. This girl, this trifling girl, really stole like money like out of my wallet. Like, really? Wow. Okay, cool. But you know, every story has a backstory. So let me tell y'all the backstory. Let's just get straight into the story time. Let's get straight into the story. This story took place my senior year of high school, which was in 2016. We're in 2022 now, so I done glowed up and growed up since this story. My high school, I went to high school in the city, and to be specific with the city, I'm talking about Manhattan, NYC. I'm from New York, gang, and my high school, we were like kind of like a different type of high school. Like, we weren't a specialized high school or a performing arts high school, but we wasn't like your regular like public high school, because we didn't take regents. Don't be mad at me, be mad at the school board. So we didn't take regents, and my school, it had all different types of like different kids, intellectuals, insightful people, just a whole bunch of different people. And my school was diverse, but a lot, like it was diverse. We had like all races in our school, but the majority race, I would say, was white people. Then we had black people, we had Spanish people, we had Asian people. We had a little bit of everything, but it was predominantly white, and specifically rich white kids. Like, let's just call a spade a spade. I'm going to school in Manhattan. Like, of course there's going to be kids with parents who have money. But that's neither here nor there. Or is it? I don't know. But so my school, we had two buildings, and not at the same time, at separate times. My first 3 years, I was in one building, and that was near Columbus Circle, if you know where Columbus Circle is at. And the second building was near 42nd Street, Times Square. So the difference between the two buildings, the first building was small because we were kind of like a small high school, but for some reason, I guess my school started getting more popularity, so they started accepting more kids, and they already planned to build a new building. And when we were in the small building, we were able to actually go outside for lunch. Like, they promoted us to go outside, and we ate outside food because our cafeteria was not big enough to hold an entire lunch period at one time. That's how small the first building was. So once we had the second building, it was huge. Like, it was an upgrade from what we originally had. It was huge. So of course, now that we're in a huge building, that means the cafeteria is huge, which means ain't nobody going outside for lunch. Y'all all staying in this building. So that was the new setup. Now we're in the new building. I love the new building, even though I was only there for 1 year. I love the new building. It was huge. And during lunch, I probably only ate lunch in the cafeteria a few times. Like, out of however many days we have of school, let's say we have like 150 days of school, like I was in the caf 4 times out of that 150. Like, I would be in the caf in the morning, right before classes start, but during lunch I was barely there because there was a room in that building that a small number of kids would actually go to during their lunch period. It was kind of like a lounge situation. So before we even get into that, let's elaborate on that specific lounge. So y'all know how you have a homeroom teacher and a homeroom in high school? Our homeroom was called advisory, and we had advisors. Different, just different. So your advisor could be any faculty member that was a part of the school building. And this specific lounge room that I would go to for lunch, it was mainly advertised to the principal's advisory. And her advisory was kids in my grade. So I was, I knew people who were in her advisory. Because again, we're coming from a small school, so everyone has like their clique. But everyone still knew each other, like, for the most part. And let me just add this too, like, there was no drama in my high school. To my knowledge, there was no fighting. Like, I be seeing people, they have like hella fighting stories from high school. Like, to my knowledge, there was no fighting, there was no bullying going on, because it was just a lot of just chill people. And if there was drama, it was like in somebody's individual group. It wasn't like a big thing. Like, y'all know that scene from Mean Girls where they in the cafeteria and it shows all the different cliques, all the different squads? Like, that's literally how my school was set up. Everyone had their own clique, and that was that. So yeah, it was at the room, the lounge, it was advertised to the principal's lounge. And we're gonna call her Miss Fugazi, because she's Fugazi. Like, she, like, in this situation, she didn't do her job as a principal, but we're gonna get into that. So one of my friends at the time, she was in Miss Fugazi's advisory. So I was only in that lounge really because she put me onto the lounge. So, I would go there with her for lunch most of the time, and then eventually I got so comfortable with going to the lounge, I would just go on my own, and whoever was in there, I'm a social person, so I could talk to a frog. So yeah, I was in there like swimwear. So boom, y'all got the backstory, right? Okay, let's get into like the juicy stuff. So it was one day, this was my senior year, y'all. Let's just throw that out there again. It had to be like in May because it was definitely nice weather. Like, it was nice outside. And one day, this day that I went to school, somehow I had $80. Like, and mind you, y'all, I didn't have a job at the time. I was just relying on whatever allowance money that my mom would give me. And I really don't know how I winded up totaling to $80. Like, maybe I saved it and stacked it up. I really don't know. But just know I had $80. So it was like this morning, I remember it. I was counting my money in my room. I was like, ooh, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. Wait, I was counting like all types of wrong, but, or was I? I don't even know. Just know I had $80 though. I had 80 bills. So, being a 17-year-old with no job and you just rely on money from your parent, I thought I was up. Like, I thought it was up and it was stuck. Like, I was like, oh, I got shmoney. Like, I thought I was lit. Now it's lunch. Right? It's lunch. And where do I go? I go to the lounge that I normally go in. And I think this day specifically, my friend that I had told y'all who even put me onto that room, we didn't have lunch that same period. That was like the one day I think that we didn't have lunch the same period. So she wasn't in the room. So when I went in the room, like, I don't remember like if I was in there first or this girl, the girl that we about to get into, who stole my shmoney. I don't remember who was there first, me or her, but just know that we was both in there, right? Now, the way the room is set up, when you walk in, it's like two tables in like the center of the room, Then on the side, on the left wall, it was like a table that was coming out the wall. It had 2 computers, and then literally towards the back of the room were the windows, and there was a nice couch and like 2 little single small couches as well. So I was sitting on a big couch against the wall, and the girl, we gonna call her Swiper, because that's exactly what it was given. It was given Swiper the Fox. Like she swiped my stuff. Like, wow. Me and Swiper in the room. As far as who else was in the room, it was literally 2 other people in the room, and they were like 2 little nerds. No offense to nobody, but they were like nerds. Like, I'm being straight up. They was by the computer doing whatever they was doing. Like, they were not even paying attention to us. So it was just me and her that was by the couches. So me and Swiper, we were sitting by the couch, and I'm not even gonna lie, y'all, before I even continue the story, I fake kind of did it to myself, but it still don't justify her doing what she did. But before y'all even start commenting and blah, I did it to myself, like, and it was a lesson learned. But let's get into it. So for some odd reason, like I told you, I thought I was a top shotter that day. Like, I thought I really had big bank, like, and I thought I had big bank. So for some reason, in my 17-year-old brain, I thought it was a good idea to take out my money and count it in front of this girl. And me and Swiper, we were not friends. We was associates, you know. It was, hey, how you doing? Or, you know, if we was all in this, if it was a whole bunch of us in the lounge, of course we're gonna have a group combo, whatever the case may be. So for some reason, I thought it was a good idea to take out my money and start counting it in front of Swiper. And that was me, like, that was the younger version of me trying to like show off for what? Don't know. So I think Swiper, she said something along the lines of, like, when she seen me take out the money and start counting it, she was like, ooh, like, she said something like, ooh, you got money, or something along those lines. I forgot her exact words. I was like, oh yeah, guess how much I have? I'm trying to be funny, like, guess how much I have? She's like, 80? Like, why the girl guess the exact amount? I was like, oh my God, you're right. You guessed right. And I put the money away. I think we started talking about other stuff. I put the money away. And here's what my dumb ass did. I put the money away. I put it back in my wallet. I put it back in my bag. And the lunch period is almost over at this point. So you know what I do, what I normally always do before I leave one location and go to the next is pee. But for some reason, I left my bag in the room. I did. I left it in the room with this girl who now knows that I have $80 in my wallet. So I go to the bathroom, I come back, she's still there. And I go to my next class, and after lunch, I only had like 2 classes left, and the day was done. So I carried on about the rest of my day, y'all. Okay, after school, nice weather. You already know what we was doing after school. Like, we was blowing it down. Like, everybody, well, not everybody, but a lot of people, we was blowing it down, and it was nice outside. So me and my 2 friends after school, like, that was already our plan. Oh, we about to go to the pier. And the pier near our school, they fake, like, it was kind of like a concrete jungle, like, type of park. Like, it was real cute how they did that. So it was a vibe. Like, it was a vibe over there. So me and my 2 friends, we met up. We're gonna call them Anna and Belle. Anna and Belle. Anna was just a mutual friend between the both of us, and we all, you know, we was all on the same type of time, so it worked out. So we went to the pier, we blew it down, the ganja. We was smacked. We was like, wow, like, it's a beautiful day. We smacked. It's like giving summer. Of course, after you blow it down, what do you have? The munchies. We had the munchies. So we was like, oh, let's go to a spot. Let's go get some food. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm with it. Because I'm like, yeah, like I'm hungry now. So we go to the spot. We go to some restaurant. I don't remember the name of the restaurant. I wasn't even really familiar with all the restaurants in our area because we didn't have much opportunity to really explore because one, we was there for 1 year, and two, we couldn't go outside for lunch. So we found this spot, and my food totaled to $20. Now that I think about it, that's a little expensive, but you know, we were in this for the food that I got. It was a little expensive, but when you're in the city, everything's expensive. So yeah, I ordered my food. The guy was like, okay, $20. I was like, oh, 20? I got this. I got shmoney. I got this. Y'all. Y'all. Tell me why I opened my wallet and it was no money. The money wasn't in my wallet. So now I'm panicking. Because I'm like, wait. I'm like the wallet I had at the time, like it was one of them wallets. It was like a rectangle wallet that you like zip open and then you open it and it got mad little compartments. I'm looking through all the compartments, like, did I put in a compartment? What's going on? And then I look in my bag. No funds. At this point now, I'm panicking. And then it clicked. The light bulb went on in my head. And now Anna and Belle, they looking at me like, yo, like, Alicia. Oh, that's my government, y'all, Alicia. But anyways, they're like, yo, Alicia, like, you good, bro? Like, what's going on? I was like, oh. Swipers stole my bread. They was like, Alicia, how do you know she stole your bread? I'm like, because my dumb ASS counted my bread in front of her and left my bag in a room with her unattended. And now my money is gone. She stole it. They was like, like, they was just like, yeah, she might have stole your bread. I'm like, who got her number? Belle had her number because I don't know why she had her number or how, but she had her phone number. I'm like, yo, call her up now. Call her. So, let me just add to, Belle actually winded up paying for my food. So Belle, if you watching this, you know who you are. I'm not using your real name, obviously. Shout out to you, girl. You're the real MVP. So yeah, she paid for my food, and she called her up. Boop, 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 boop. She answered the phone. She was like, hello. I'm like, yo, Swiper, it's Alicia. Where's my bread at? Where is my bread at? Where the F is my bread? Where the F is my bread? Like, I'm just asking her, where the F is my bread? Where the F is my bread? She's like,
that you
stuttering. Alicia, what are you talking about? Like, I don't know what you're talking. I was like, you don't know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about the fact that I counted my money in front of you, left my bag in the room, and now my money is gone. Where's my bread? She not trying to answer no questions. She's just like, she says, I'm actually working out with my trainer right now, so I'm gonna have to call you back. I'm gonna have to call you back.
What? Bro, what are you talking about?
I hung up the phone on her because you with your trainer, but why did you answer the phone? If you're so cold with your trainer, because you're not that busy, that's why you answered your phone. So at this point, I don't even have an appetite. I don't even want to eat the food. Like, I just want to go back to the school and let the principal know what's going on so that this situation could get rectified. So we were still in the neighborhood of our school. We wasn't too far. So we went back to the school, and mind you, y'all, I'm livid. Like, I'm mad. Like, I want to knock this girl's head off because you stole my money, swiper. I will take accountability for my part. That, girl, why would you cancel your money in front of her? So we get back to the school. Thankfully, the principal's still there. Like, I guess teachers and faculty members be staying a little after hours because it was probably only an hour since school was let out. Go back into school, go straight to her office. I'm like, hi, Miss Fugazi. I'm coming to you because I have a situation going on and I believe that Swiper stole my money. Now, mind you, I told you Swiper was in Miss Fugazi's advisory. And Miss Fugazi, like, I wasn't one of the kids in the school that, like, she was, like, super cool with. Like, I wasn't never someone who, like, who would go to her about stuff or talk to her or whatever. Like, we just never connected. Like, and she was cool with a lot of kids. Like, even kids that weren't in her advisory, they could probably say, like, yeah, I was super cool with my principal, and, you know, I just wasn't cool with her. It's not like she didn't like me. She just didn't really know me like that. And I know she seat me around because, again, it's a small school. Like, you know, you're going to see a face and then see it a decent amount of times to know that, okay, this is a student at the school. So I tell Miss Fugazi, yo, like, Swiper stole my money. She's like, her immediate reaction, like, no kizzy. She's like, no. Swiper, she wouldn't do something like that. She wouldn't do something like that. And I'm like, Miss, like, what? Like, you can't be serious. You can't be serious right now. Like, I just told you that I believe that somebody stole my money, and you're telling me why? Because she's in your advisory and you think that she's probably a precious little angel, that she's not capable of doing something like that. Let me tell y'all something. Please don't judge a book by its cover, because every day we walk amongst murderers, people who have probably murdered another human being. We walk amongst we walk amongst criminals, thieves, all types of walks under the sun. You never know who you sitting next to on the train. So please don't, just because you think you might know someone, you don't really know someone until they really, like, show you their ASS. And I'm just telling her, like, Miss, like, I'm telling you, this girl stole my money, like, and you telling me no, she wouldn't do, like, yes, she would. She's probably stolen out of her own mother's purse. Like, that's what it's giving. Moral of the story is, the girl parents had money. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not to say, okay, just because somebody's parents have money, like, that don't mean that the parents is giving them bread. Her parents was giving her bread. Her parents was giving her bread. Her parents. Let me tell y'all. So, I don't even remember how the conversation ended with Miss Fugazi. I think she was basically like, listen, you know, the school day is over right now. Let's bring this conversation back up tomorrow, because it's not even much that we can even do right now because school is out of session. She's not here. Blah, 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 blah. I'm like, all right. Had no choice but to just go home. And I'd even come home and tell my mom, because I was just fearful that my mom would have just blacked on me. Like, why would you even do that? So yeah, it's the next day and I'm just mad. Like, I'm going to school mad. Like, I'm just conjuring up like, what can I do? Like, what can I do? Like, should I fight her? Should I just slap her up? Like, what should I do? Because at this point, y'all, like I told you, my school, we were not known for fights. Like, my whole high school career, it was one fight. In the whole 4 years of me being in high school, there was one fight, and it wasn't even people from my grade. It was like a grade below us. Like, they had just came into the school, so they didn't know, like, we don't do stuff like that here. Or actually, no, I think it was like my junior year, and they were like freshmen. So I wasn't out in the streets rustling, tussling in these times. And I was a good kid. Like, I had a strict parent, so I couldn't really afford to get in trouble. Like, that was just not, if I got in trouble in school, oh, I was gonna have a hard time when I came home. Like, I was a good kid. And then on top of that, y'all, it was my senior year. I don't know about y'all and how important your senior year was to you, but my senior year was very important. Like, it was May, school ends in June. So you know what's June? June is prom, graduation, senior activities, all things that I wanted to participate in. And I knew, like, if I was to put my hands on this girl, like, done, finito. So, all right, it's the next day. Sure enough, the day is going by. I'm just walking around the halls with a mean mug. Mind you, I'm telling everybody and their mother what this girl did. Because I want the whole school to know, like, don't leave your stuff around her. Like, learn from me. Like, she's a thief. Can't trust her. Guess who I see in the hallway? Like, in like the morning, afternoon, I don't even know. It was early in the day though. Guess who I see in the hallway? Swiper, swiping tail cell. So I'm looking at her like, and we make eye contact. So she starts walking over to me. She's like, hey, Alicia, I just want to let you know, like, you know, I didn't steal your money. You're my friend, and I would never do that to a friend, okay? Like, I just want you to know, like, I didn't do it. And then the she's like, you know, rubbing my arm, and I'm just looking at her like, when I tell y'all, I didn't say nothing to this girl. I was just looking at her like, it's you knowing what you did for me and trying to console me as if you didn't do what you did. Like, the evidence points to you. Like, let me go back, y'all. Yes, there were other people in the room that we were in, but like I said, they were sitting by the computers in their own realm. Like, they probably didn't even realize we were there. And it was literally, so it was 2 people by the computers, 2 people by the couches, me and Swiper. She was the only person there. She was the only person I was having a conversation with, and my bag was left directly next to her. Who else stole it? Because the money didn't get legs and walk away. Like, the money did not get legs and crawl out of my wallet and out of my bag. You took the bread. So I didn't say nothing to her. I think she just got the point and just walked away. Because mind you, y'all, I'm still trying to conjure up in my head, like, what am I gonna do? Because the principal, the day is going by and there's no, oh, Swiper and Alicia to the office, like, never got called, never, she didn't do anything about the situation. So now I'm just telling the whole school, y'all. And I was known in my high school. I don't care. Like, I'm gonna say it, like, people knew who I was. Like, I'm Alicia. Like, come on. I'm telling the whole school. Thief, 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 thief. So now it's at a point, I think it's probably like an hour or 2 before school's about to end, and I think I had a free period. So I was just, again, making my rounds, telling everyone I knew what this girl did. And this boy, I think he was like a grade below me, and he was in, like, because I used to be in the dance program at my school, and so he was in the dance program as well. So all the dance kids, they were like sitting near Miss Fugazi's office. So I go over there, I'm telling them the story, They was like, what? And I'm like, yeah. And I told Miss Fugazi, and she trying to tell me that, oh, the girl would never do nothing like that. They wasn't having it. So this boy, yeah, let's just call him the boy because he's not that important for the story. So the boy, he started blacking on Miss Fugazi because, like I said, we was near her office. So I think like she had came out at a point, and he was like, Miss Fugazi, like, well, first off, I don't remember if these were his exact words, but it was along the lines of this. He was like, oh, Miss Fugazi, like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? And mind you, he was like one of the flamboyant boys. So he was very much outspoken. He was like, Miss Fugazi, like, what's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? She's like, what? Like, what boy? Why are you coming at me like that? Da, 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 da. And he was like, because one of your students told you that another student stole her stuff, and you're not doing anything about it. You're not doing anything. Like, what are you doing about the situation? Just because she's in your advisory, you don't think that she did it? Da 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 da. When I tell you Miss Fugazi is standing there just like pleading the fifth, and me, the 17-year-old Alicia just doesn't reflect the 24-year-old Alicia. Like, we're like the same, but we're like on two different wavelengths. So, you know, the me today, I super would have had like that energy, like, why aren't you doing anything? Why aren't you doing anything? Why aren't you doing anything? But in that moment too, we was both just looking at each other like, and I don't remember how that conversation ended. I think she was just trying to diffuse him from blacking, because he was really blacking on her like, girl, what are you doing? Like, you're a principal. Like, because she basically just swept it under the rug. Like, I swear to God, y'all, like, this situation made me realize, like, oh yeah, like, yeah. So I forgot how like that whole situation ended, but at some point it came to an end. And mind you, I told y'all, I was telling the whole school like the whole day, so I had people on tab. Like, the day was about to end, so I knew like after school I was just gonna run up on her. I didn't know like what was gonna happen, but she needed to know like pressure was about to be applied, like heavy pressure. So now the day is done. I think I'm coming out of my last class, and you know, everybody's exiting building. It was Anna. She had called me. She's like, yo, bro, I got eyes on Swiper. She's by whatever store she was by. I was like, oh, word? She left school real quick. Like, damn, like, we just got out of class. How are you already up the block? Almost by the train. Well, she wasn't that far. She was literally up the block. So y'all, I speed out the school. I'm like, yeah, I'm about to catch her. Because mind you, I was about to close the scene, y'all. So boom, found her. Because she was walking real slow. She was walking on Miss Daisy. I was like, so what's up? What's up, Swiper? What's up, Swiper? You stole my bread. What's up? She was like, what? Well, I didn't steal your bread. I told you I didn't steal your bread. I was like, yeah, you did. So what's up? I was blacking, y'all. Everybody was like, oh. Because, feel me, people love drama. Why does girl start walking back to the school? The girls start walking back to the school. So at this point, I already knew, oh, she was about to go to her savior, Miss Fugazi. I already knew exactly where she was going. I'm like, yeah, that's exactly where we need to go, because I needed to be resolved. So she start charging back to the school. So I follow right behind her. So, like, I don't know what you think you're about to get me in trouble because I confronted you. That's how life goes, baby girl. You do funny stuff. Sometimes you gotta get reprimanded. Sometimes somebody's gonna pull up on you. Like that's just what happens. So we go back to the school. She busts into her office. she's just black. I don't even know. I remember what she was saying, but she's just busting it. And I'm just remaining calm because I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna make her look crazy. Like, yeah, like you look guilty. Like the way you're blacking right now, you sound guilty. Because if you really ain't do it, what did you march back to the school for? To try to do what? To do what exactly? So now I think we're like going back and forth. We're like arguing with each other in Miss Fugazi's office. So she calls one of the security guards. It was like one of the black lady security guards. She was real cool. She calls her in the office. They trying to like diffuse us. And this girl, y'all, when I tell you this girl, not Fugazi, Swiper, she turned into like a girl that I've never seen before. Like it was giving like privileged, entitled, brat, just like she was just she was moving So they're trying to get us to calm down. And they're asking us now like what's going on, what's your side of the story, and what's your side of the story. And then it came to a point where she was like, I'm just gonna call my daddy. I'm just gonna call my daddy. Like she was like just attitude, just giving guilty. So and then here's where she got me. She was like, I don't even use cash. I use credit cards. I have a credit card. What do I need cash for? Girl, what do you mean? What do you need? Cash is money. Money is money. And that just goes to show like she was an entitled, privileged little B. A little bitch, like probably spoiled her parents probably gave her like, okay, shout out to you that you know your dad gives you his credit card to buy whatever you want. We don't all got it like that. And girl, you're dumb, because what was the point of you saying like I don't even use cash, I use credit card? Okay, so the cash, like if you stole the cash, that means there's no record of you, there's no paper trail, dummy. Like, why wouldn't you use cash? Why wouldn't you steal some cash? Maybe you want to buy some stuff that you don't want your parents knowing that you bought. Duh. I guess she called her father, and no cap, y'all, I feel like Miss Fugazi was afraid of this girl's dad. Like, I don't know who her dad was and what type of power he had and what was going on with her. I just know, like, I don't think she was all the way there. Like, I think she had some type of something going on, because Miss Fugazi was very acquainted with her parents, and the way her dad was talking on the phone, he's like, what's going on? What's going on? And I think they was like, oh, she's being accused of stealing money. And the dad was just as ignorant and as entitled and just as as her. Because I'm like, oh yeah, I see where she gets it from. Like, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. Because her dad, he was saying stuff like, oh, what would she do that for? We have money, da 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 da. Like, just saying stuff along those lines. Like, what does my kid look like stealing bread when we got bread? She don't need to steal from the. But it's like, she did though. That's the crazy thing. She did, and this is not her first time stealing stuff. It's not. Has she ever gotten caught? Has anyone ever confronted her? I don't know, but it wasn't her first time stealing stuff. Miss Fugazi, she had like one of them like long office tables in her office, because her office was a pretty decent size. So she had like a little, I think it was like a little smaller room, like where her actual desk and stuff was. And then she had an actual like common area with like a big table. So Swiper was on one end of the table and I was on one end, and the security guard, she was in the middle, just trying to make sure that we don't across the table. And she was just sitting on the other side of the table like this. Oh, I think she started crying too. She started crying. That's what took me out. She started crying, like in the midst of all the rah. The girl started crying. Why are you crying? That's how you know she's guilty, because you're doing too much. Like, for someone who didn't steal anything, I'm not doing all of that. I'm just saying I didn't steal the bread. Like if you have proof that I stole it, okay, cool. But if you don't have proof, then I don't know what to tell you. But she was acting like a guilty person. You calling your father, you're crying, you're causing a scene, you're being bipolar. Like 1 second you're crying, 1 second you're looking at me with the like I swear to God. So eventually, you know, the situation comes to a close because there's no camera in the room. There was no camera, and there was no like hard evidence that she really took the bread. And the security guard, she, you know, I think eventually they just let her go, because like I said, I firmly believe Miss Fugazi was afraid of this girl's dad. And I think he said something like, oh, he's about to come up to the school. She's like, oh, no, you don't have to do it. Because I feel like if her dad was to further get involved, like, it would have turned into a whole, like, he probably would have tried to shut down the school or something. Like, I really feel like he had that type of power. The security guard, I think she had pulled me to the side, and she was like, baby, you know, I understand what you're feeling. And you know what? She probably did steal your money.
Got him!
Like, the way she's acting like a guilty person. And, you know, her actions are showing me, like, that she did take your money. The way you're telling the story, like, she took your money. And she was like, you know, unfortunately, we really can't do anything because there's no camera. There's no physical proof to prove that, okay, she went in your bag and took your money. So it's like, at this point, it's hearsay. And I was just so just like, wow, so y'all really not gonna do anything. And Miss Fugazi and the security guard, now they're both talking to me, and Miss Fugazi was like, okay, you know, what could we do to help? You know, what were you gonna use the money for? Not like it was any of her business.
You in my business? Yeah, don't do that.
It doesn't matter what I was gonna use the money for. It was my money. It was my money. And I think I lied to her. I'm like, oh, I was gonna buy my dad a Father's Day gift because Father's Day, I think, was coming up soon in like a few weeks. And she was like, oh, well, you know, we could put together a nice basket for your father. Da 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 da. I'm like, girl, but that don't replace the money. Like, I don't want no the money wasn't for him. Like, it was for me. Like, what are you talking about? A little basket. Mind you, till this day, never got the basket. Never got the care package. Never got the care package. And that was an L that I just had to take. Like, never got the care package, never got my money back. This trifling scum of the earth, dirty little bitch got away with it. But you know what? I really don't feel like she got away with it, because you know who saw that? God. And hey, the best revenge is letting God take care of that. Leave the vengeance to God, y'all, because he gonna do them way harder than you can. Let me tell you. And I'm sure she got her karma, because what? The universe sees everything. Like I said, y'all, I don't really feel like that was her first time stealing money. Like, I feel like that was the fact that she was bold enough to do that. And it's like, girl, like, why would you think I might have been dumb for showing you my money and leaving my bag in the room unattended with you? But why do you think that I was dumb enough to not figure out it was you that took my money? I don't know, maybe she thought that I was showing my money to everyone around the school that day. But y'all, she was the only person, like, I swear, she was the only person in that school building who knew how much money I had that day. The only person. And it's like, I was better off telling one of my real friends, because they wouldn't have stole the bread. But like I said, y'all, we were associates. Like, we had each other on like Facebook and Snapchat, because that's what the whole school had at the time, Facebook and Snapchat and Instagram. But really, these were the days when Snap was popping, where we was all messaging each other on there and this, that, and the fourth, and blah, blah, blah. So yeah, like I said, she was the only one who knew. So it was like, I just knew it was her. Like, I just knew it. I knew it. The way she was moving, I knew it. And I didn't do nothing, y'all, because at that point, it was just like, I just had to take the L. I put myself in that position and I had to learn my lesson. Like, and you know what the lesson is? The lesson is, y'all, nobody should ever know how much money you really have. Nobody. Like, nobody. If you're a millionaire, act like you broke. Well, okay. Don't act like you're broke, but people, especially if they're not a trusted, like, you could trust them with your life, they should not know how much money you have. Around that time too, I had told my mom, oh, somebody stole my money, da da da. And mom was like, Alicia, you know, you really have to be careful with where you take out your money, who you count your money in front of, where, who, what, when, where, why, how. She was telling me, because I would take the bus and the train to school. She was like, you know, even when you're on the train and the bus, like, do not take your money, do not have your wallet just out in the open and just going through your stuff, because you never know who's looking at you and plotting. True statement. You never know who's looking at you and plotting on your downfall. Mind you, I was 17, so I'm glad something like this happened when I was 17-year-old, when I was a 17-year-old versus like a 27-year-old, because at 27 it's like, girl, you shouldn't even be going through stuff like that. So it was just a life lesson. The first one, nobody should know how much money you have. 2, don't count your money in front of people. Don't count your money in front of people like that are not trusted individuals. And 3, don't leave your personal stuff anywhere unattended. Like, girls, guys, whatever you walk around and have your valuables, you should be carrying that around wherever you go. When you're in public, when you're out, you should be carrying your stuff around, because you never know. You could leave your stuff somewhere for 2 seconds and come back and your whole bag is gone. Or my situation, my money was gone. So that was basically that story. I took her off of, like, I blocked her on everything. I'm like, yeah, she's done. I'm never talking to her again because you're scary. I did see her probably like literally a few days later after that situation, because in my high school, when we had like, when people had like little get-togethers, they were called frees. So someone was having a free at their house and I happened to be there and she happened to be there, and she was just looking at me like across the room with one of her friends, and I was just looking at her like, you're lucky. Because honestly, that was a good opportunity for me to, like, you know, give her a 3-piece and a biscuit combo. But it was too many witnesses. It was too many people in the high school there to where it's like, if something popped off, it would be getting talked about on Monday morning. And then I probably would have got in trouble in prom and graduation. My whole main thing was that once I realized I had to take my L, I'm like, okay, Alicia, you're gonna have to let it go. You need to go to prom, you need to go to graduation. Those are things that need to happen. And I was just so glad that it was the end of the school year anyways. We were all seniors, about to graduate, about to go to college. So I knew, Alicia, just get through like these next couple of weeks and you never have to see this girl again. Like, just carry on. And that's exactly what I did. So yeah, that's the story, y'all. That's my first story time. It's done now. If you like this video, if this was entertaining for you, please like, comment, share the video with your grandma, your mama, your dog, your auntie, your nephew, whoever, your boyfriend, your girlfriend. Share it, because as y'all can see, my page is new. I'm trying to go up. We go up. We going up. And yeah, and do I have anything else to say? I don't really know. I don't think so. I'll catch y'all on the next one. If y'all have any suggestions or any requests for story times that I might have, because what y'all gonna learn is that I have stories for days. Let me know. But anyways, thanks for watching, and I see y'all later.
I think I lie for you. I think I die for you. Sure to cry for